What is going on, guys? 821 Mayo here, and today we are going to be going over my top 5 tips for you to improve today in Rainbow Six Siege. Without wasting any more time, let's jump right into the video. The very first thing I want to go over is making sure you set goals for yourself. Now hear me out before you lose interest, because this is something that you need to hear. Don't let your ego blind you from the fact that most of us don't have goals set that we want to achieve. And for the people who say they don't have an ego, you're showing to other people that you have an ego by saying you don't have one. Anyways, if you don't set goals, you will be lost. Adrift in a space in your mind where you don't know what you want to achieve, but you know you want to achieve something. You have no direction by not setting goals up for yourself to work towards. You are blind to your own greatness by handicapping yourself in your mind. If you don't set goals, you will just keep doing the same thing over and over, day in and day out, expecting to get better at the game. But that's not how it works. How do you think the most respected and best players to ever touch the game got to the point they are in their life right now? Because they set goals. They took time to sit down and reflect on what they want and don't want. They then set a time frame to achieve those goals, and they work towards it. All I'm asking you to do is spend some time, and it doesn't have to be 6 hours, just spend 30 minutes, put on some music or whatever it is you do to help clear your mind and think straight. And ask yourself, what do I want to get better at Siege and even life? You can put the pen to the paper or even open a notepad on your phone and just jot down some very basic points in a time frame you want to achieve those goals. I promise, even though you just wrote a few things down, it will get rid of the fog that was in front of you, not allowing you to get better. A lot of people don't realize that this game and average everyday life have a lot of similarities. It just depends on how much reflecting you do. Before we continue on with the video, I would greatly appreciate it if you could spend 3 seconds of your time and scroll down and click the like button and consider subscribing. I devote a lot of time to my videos, and any positive feedback like subscribing, commenting, or even liking the video can help the video be put into the YouTube algorithm, so that way more people can see my content and my videos will be shown to a larger audience. All I'm asking for is a simple click of a button here and there and you're done. I would greatly appreciate it. The next topic I want to discuss with you guys is mentally preparing yourself before you load into a round. So on attack, for example, you can always see what bomb sites are locked, meaning you can usually predict where the defenders will go next. Once you feel confident that they will go where you're expecting, select your operator and place your drone in an area where you want to attack from. Prep your brain for areas of the map you want to roam clear, or where you might expect seeing an enemy or engage in a gunfight. So that way you're not overwhelmed with something you weren't expecting. This way you don't get lost in objective play by aimlessly walking around the map or droning areas that have no importance to you or your team. The same thing goes for defense. See what bomb site you're going to be playing, select an operator that you think is appropriate for it, and then mentally prepare yourself where you want to place your utility, what walls you want to reinforce, where you want to make rotates or line of sight if you're able. This way you have the most efficient prep phase you can have while playing defense or even attack. The third thing I want to go over is the percentage rule before engaging in any gunfights during a round. This is something that you may have heard on my channel or maybe someone else's, but it is always a good rule to follow. It's something that if you start implementing today in your gameplay, I promise it will help you improve in Rainbow Six Siege and will lead you to not dying to reckless deaths during a game. So the rule to follow is before you take a gunfight, ask yourself, what is the percent that I win the gunfight and what is the percent that the enemy wins the gunfight? That's basically it. Now it may seem simple, but it's very effective. Now there are some other factors that are in play in some situations, like unpredictable variables. For example, if you have around a 70% chance of winning a gunfight, there's always the chance the enemy lands his first bullet on your head, killing you instantly. While it is uncommon in such a one-sided gunfight, it is still a situation that could play out. Or being blindsided by an enemy that came out of nowhere that you weren't expecting, but this is the fine print of this rule. The percentage rule is used best in 1v1 engagements. The next topic on the list is how to properly manage time. This is a topic that I can make a whole separate tip video on, so if you enjoy this section of this video, then let's see if we can hit 3,000 likes and I will definitely make this tip into its own video because I think it could be a very good topic to go over. But anyways, back to the topic at hand, how to time manage. This is a huge advantage that you can start doing today that will lead you to being less stressed during a round. So for example, let's say you're in a 3v3 situation with 30 seconds left on the clock. Now, it's always a good rule to have for time management whenever you need to make the last and final push on the bomb site when you are attacking, to subtract 7 to 10 seconds of your time, because that time will need to be devoted solely to planting, since there is a 7-second plant timer. So this is what I mean by how you can properly manage your time. It's very similar to the aspect of this video where I said set goals. Well, the same thing applies to Siege and in a round. So on attack, your primary objective is to plant the diffuser, correct? Well, if that's your primary objective, then it's important you need to realize what things might be in your way while trying to achieve your goal, which is planting. So taking a gunfight, droning, using your utility, these are things that will most likely happen during any given round that can eat up a good chunk of time. So going back to our 3v3 example once again, you're probably going to have to take at least one gunfight to reach your destination of planting, right? So instead of subtracting our normal 7 to 10 seconds for the plant, now you should subtract another 8 seconds, meaning that you only have around 12 seconds of actual playtime. 18 seconds of preparation, planting, taking gunfights, etc., meaning that you only have really 12 seconds of actual playtime to play around with, reposition, whatever it is you need to do. This is what I mean by properly managing your time. And again, if you guys want me to take a deeper dive on this topic, I am more than capable of doing so. Just get this video to 3,000 likes and I will most definitely make that video. The last and final tip is being accountable for your mistakes. Now again, before you lose interest, let me go deeper into this point. I'm sure you've heard it time and time again from other creators and even me to learn from your mistakes. But being accountable is taking learning from your mistakes a step further. Being accountable and owning up to them is better than just saying, oh, I made a mistake, I better not do that again. Accountability is one, knowing that you made a mistake and you should learn from it, but two, having the expectation or requirement that it will never happen again. So if you're ever duo queuing or 5 stacking, it should be up to your teammates to expect you to not make the simple mistake that you made already. Or if you're solo queuing, make it a mental note that you expect out of yourself to not allow yourself to make that mistake again. The definition of being accountable is required or expected to justify actions or decisions. So being required by you or your teammate to not allow the same mistake to happen twice, instead of just recognizing you made a mistake and possibly having it happen again in the future. That's the difference between being accountable for your mistake and just learning from your mistake. Now, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you enjoyed or learned something new, I would appreciate it if you could go down, leave me a like, and sub to the channel. I post content like this all the time, so there's always more coming out in the near future. If I make amazing content and you enjoy it, you would want other people to get recommended it too, right? Well, having a simple interaction with the video in the form of a like, comment, or subscription will push the video into the YouTube algorithm, so that way a larger audience can get recommended my content. And with all of that being said, I hope you enjoyed. I appreciate all your guys' support and love, and I will see you guys in the next video.